Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Wartrain here. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click down below for notifications so you can get notifications of all my new videos. And you see I have a whole bunch of games spread out across this table here, right? Well, today I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch and why it's selling so damn good. There is a reason for this, and you might already kind of see what I'm getting at. I put out some of the older games here just to give you an idea of why handhelds are so appealing. Right here I have Zelda Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64. And then I also have a copy of it for the GameCube with the Master Quest. This is just a great game, that's why I have these copies. But then you get this, the portability aspect, and to be able to take a game with you anywhere is a really great incentive to go pick up a handheld system. It started with the Game Boy that launched with Tetris, and that thing was phenomenal. I still have my original launch Tetris game and my original Game Boy to this day, and my Game Boy Color. And I don't play them much anymore because the screens are a little wonky now. I mean, there's you can play on the 3DS, is definitely an improvement, but you get the idea. And then you have this little bad boy right here, Zelda's Majora's Mask. Same thing. You got the game, and then you get later, years down the road, the portability aspect, which is awesome. And they actually improved these two games, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. And same with Star Fox 64 to Star Fox 3D 64. They updated it a little bit, and these are basically the definitive editions now to play these 3DS titles. And then you have Luigi's Mansion, and you had it for the GameCube. I rebought it because you get a portability aspect that you just ain't getting with the GameCube. That's for sure. Same thing. Donkey Kong Country Returns, great game. Portability. Also, the 3D is cool, but then you don't have the waggle controls of the Wii. So that's a good selling point. Same thing. Xenoblade Chronicles. Another thing. Portability. And then it goes on, and then you have the Wii U games with the 3DS conversion. You get the portability of a great game. Yoshi's Woolly World, and you got the Super Mario Maker. You lose some features in this one, but still it's portable Mario Maker, which is really cool. And you get this with a bunch of games. I got Ultimate NES Remix. And then it gets to where you have the Nintendo Switch. And this thing is a game changer. If you haven't played it, it's awesome. The screen's 720 when you're in handheld mode, and when you dock it, it can play up till 1080p. And even though the handheld screen does 720, it looks remarkable. Especially for retro games, the way that they were originally intended, the way that it does the pixels, 720 works the best for that for HD. If you do it in 1080, it kind of stretches the pixels, and you get some weirdness going on. But this is why the Nintendo Switch is selling so good. Actually, in Japan right now, for April, their top 10 list, it was Days Gone as #1, and then every other game was a Nintendo Switch game. That's insane. And it just goes to show, Japan, those kind of places over there, they love things that are small, and they love their handhelds. And obviously we like them here too, because the thing's selling great. And obviously I like it, as you can see. And this isn't even all the games that were ported. But you look here, it's not just Nintendo. But, I do have a lot of Nintendo. I mean, you have Breath of the Wild on Wii U and on the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch, you can play it in handheld, and you can play it anywhere you want to go. Same with Bayonetta 1 and 2. same exact thing, but plays better, you know, a lot smoother portability. You don't have that with the Wii U unless you want to call the gamepad portability, but you can't go more than maybe 30 feet tops. That's not really portable. That's just, you know, partially portable, I guess. I don't know what you would call that, but it's not the same, you know. And you got, you know, lots of these games where you just, I've bought the same game over and over because it's just so cool to play it on the go. And I mean, you know, I could just keep going. You know, you have great games that have been coming out for this system. You know, you have the South Park The Fractured Butthole, Shantae the Half Genie Hero, excellent looking game. You know, awesome fighter that plays smooth on the Switch, and it looks just as good as it does on the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4's Dragon Ball Fighters. Great game. If you're into fighting games, that's pretty much a must-own on Nintendo Switch or on any console. It's just a great game. And then you have an awesome platformer. And the thing about this is you were able to buy this Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U on the, I believe, on the eShop for $20, and you may, I think you were even able to buy the physical version for $20 because I believe it may have been a Nintendo Select title where they bumped the price down to $20, and they charged, I believe it was, you know, $60 full price for this game, and all they added was Funky Kong, which basically gave the game like another easy mode, but just such a great game. And this cut down, I believe it cut down on some of the load times on this version. And God, this game, it was great on both, but you know, there's a little bit of an up to the resolution here. And I believe this plays in native 1080p, and this Wii U version played only up to like 720. But that's a phenomenal game. It runs at 60 frames a second. It's just smooth. Wow, probably one of the best platformers of all time. And then you have other games, you know, that these games that came out for not just Nintendo consoles, but you know, all these other ones, PlayStation and Xbox, and you know, they're not first-party Nintendo games like Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. This is a great game. Originally, I picked it up on the PlayStation 4 because it was exclusive for a year, and then they released the Xbox and Switch version, so I had to pick this up. It's just a great game to play on the go. Great with for having, if you have kids, it's an awesome game. And then one of the best sellers on the Nintendo Switch right here is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is I believe to this day, the best-selling Nintendo Switch game, and there's a reason for it. It's a great racing game, and it was great on the Wii U as well. It's just they gave you all the DLC right away, and they had everything unlocked except for maybe customization for your vehicles, and you know, $60. You know, but look, you notice the pattern here. You know, I had paid $60 for this. $60 right there. That's $120 Nintendo got on just my money alone, and I'm not the only one. You know, that's why the Switch is just killing it with even their software sales. And then you have games like this, the Sega Genesis Classic, another phenomenal game. You know, over 50 classic games. You can't go wrong with this. But you got the portability of it. And Sega Genesis games are awesome on Sega Genesis, and extremely awesome when you can take them anywhere. You know, and they look great on the Switch's screen. So, Mario Brothers U Deluxe. That's controversial too. You know, you can see I have pretty much most of the copies they made. You know, they did a Luigi's Brother U separate for a little while with the Year of Luigi, so I wanted to pick that up because I collect it, and it's pretty cool, so I picked that up. But I had to pick it up on Switch. I wanted to play that game, especially with my son. We had a good time with that because there's some pretty neat multiplayer in there. And it's a Mario title. A lot of people didn't like the price, but hey, what are you gonna do? Nintendo don't like dropping the price of their games usually. They want to get as much as they can. And then you have this game, Doom 2016. I had to pick this up for the Nintendo Switch day one. A lot of people couldn't even believe that this would run on the Nintendo Switch. You know, but besides this game, There's also Wolfenstein 2, another game that was thought to be an impossible port. Well, now we know it's not, because they both play on the Switch and they run pretty good thanks to Panic Button. That team does some amazing work. These people are magicians, that's for sure. But then you have Hyrule Warriors, a great game if you're into Zelda and into like the Dynasty Warrior style games. A little different, not your regular Legend of Zelda style, but it has the same characters and from all the different games. Some of the some of the main characters that you'll see in a lot of different Legend of Zelda games. So definitely cool if you're into the franchise like I am. And then what I had to pick up, which I wanted to get day one, I had to pick it up. I actually picked this up today, Mortal Kombat 11. I've already had from launch day, I had Mortal Kombat 11 on Xbox One, but I had to get it on the Switch because I want to be able to play this bad boy portable, especially when I'm at work or waiting for a doctor's appointment, or picking my kids up from like a school event, or say you're going to a family member and you're going to be bored and you just bring it along with you and kind of sneak in some gameplay. Great game for that, and a lot of these games are. And that's why I believe the Nintendo Switch is selling like crazy. The thing's been breaking records. Nintendo definitely struck gold, I believe, with this system. And I could tell right when it came out, I got a day one release. I had it pre-ordered, and within the first day, I knew they had something special. I took it home. I started playing Breath of the Wild. I just loved the game. And then it was like, we had to go somewhere, and it was like, man, I don't want to stop playing this. And my fiance's like, hey, why don't you just bring it with you? And then it hit me. It was like, oh my God, I can take this thing with me. I was like, thank you, Nintendo. And I walked out the door playing it while I'm walking in the car. I'm playing it, and man, I knew they had something great. And it, ever since then, I just watched the sales just go up and up and up. And the thing is doing phenomenal. It's getting the game. There's a reason this thing's dominating the sales chart. It is a phenomenal system. It's got great first-party support, third-party support. I mean, the portability aspect just is unlike anything else. You get, a handheld system, and you get a home console, 2-in-1 package. I mean, you can't beat that, because it is a fantastic handheld, and it's a decent console. I mean, better than decent. It's a great console. So, I mean, you put a great console and, an awesome handheld together, and, you have something, epic like the Nintendo Switch. What a great system. Thank God Nintendo came out with this thing, because somebody was bound to do it eventually. But I believe that's why it's tearing up the sales and breaking all kinds of records. But that's the video, guys. I'm War Train, and I'm out. Have a good night.